Hola, clase. Here are your notes on ser and estar. First of all, you need to remember that ser and estar both mean to be in English. And in English, the words am, is, and are all come from the word to be. That's really important to remember. So am, is, are, they come from be. In English, we only have one way to say to be, but in Spanish, we have two. That's ser and estar. The difference between the two is how we use them. We use ser for things that are considered more permanent, and we use estar for things that are considered more temporary. Ser and estar are both verbs, just like the word be is in English. And in Spanish, we change each verb to match each of the pronouns that we used in the last one. So we always know who we're talking about by the way the verb looks. Kind of like how in English we changed be to am, is, and are. Am goes with I, is goes with he and she, and are goes with we or you or they. This changing these verbs is called conjugation. So this is what we call a conjugation chart, and we're going to go through, and first let's review the pronouns. Okay. We have yo as our first person singular pronoun. We're going to change ser to match yo. We're going to change it to soy. Soy is going to mean I am. Now, you can say that a couple of ways. You can say yo soy, and that will mean I am. Or you can just say soy, because soy goes with yo. So you can say soy for the I am. You don't necessarily need to say yo. So there's no other person that matches it. Same thing with estar. We're going to change estar to estoy. So remember, both soy and estoy mean I am. For tu, we're going to use eres to mean you are, or are you if it's a question. And for estar, we're going to use estás. Remember that tu means you. Usted also means you, but when we're being formal. So we're going to use a different verb so that we don't get the two confused. We're going to use es for that, a word you've already seen many times. So in this case, with usted, es is actually going to mean you are, or are you. And same with está for estar. So we're going to change estar to está, and again, that will mean you are or are you when we're speaking formally. Our third person singular pronouns are él and ella, remember he and she. We're going to use es when we talk about he or she. And you can just remember that es means is. Also, está means is. So do you notice there we've got está, es, es. We've got usted, él, and ella that are going to go with es and está. So we think about categories when we conjugate. We don't necessarily think about every single pronoun. Our first person plural pronouns are nosotros and nosotras. And for ser, somos is going to go with them. Somos means we are. And for estar, we'll use estamos. And again, estamos means we are. Our second person plural pronoun is ustedes. Remember, ustedes means you guys or you all. With ser, we're going to use son. So that will mean you all are or you guys are. And with estar, we'll use están. We'll also use son and están with ellos and ellas, our third person plural pronouns, meaning they. And here's where the word are really comes in. So it can mean they are, but it can also just mean are. So son and están are your words for are. Okay, so we're going to give this a try. We have ser and estar. I want you to think about these people and which form of ser and estar would match each of them. Think about categories. For example, let's look at the first one, mi padre. You can look at that and know that first it's singular. So you're choosing between I, you, and he, she. Now, if it doesn't say I and it doesn't say you, that means it has to be third person. So you're going to put the third person singular forms of ser and estar for the answer there. Pause the video while you work. All right, and here are your answers. Mi padre, we already talked about, is singular and it's third person, so we would use es and está. Tu y tus amigos, we can see that it's second person because it says tu with an accent. So you and your friends, that's second person singular. So we will use son or están. If you're talking directly to somebody, you're using second person. And if it's someone you know, that's the tu form. So eres or estás. If you're talking directly to somebody but you're being respectful, that means formal. So you would use es or está. Okay. Las personas, we can see that it's plural. which means we have to decide between we and they. If it doesn't say somebody y yo, or if it doesn't say nosotros, it has to be third person. So, son or están. And finally, if you're talking about yourself, you're saying I, so soy or estoy. Okay, here let's work just with ser. Okay, the word ser has a lot of different uses, and we're going to go through each use, and I want you in your notes to write the uses, and then I want you to write your own example for each use. It can be similar to mine, the words that are in black here, but I want you to write one that actually applies to you. Okay, so we use ser for characteristics. For example, yo soy alto, I am tall. Okay, not me, but somebody. Right, so tall is a characteristic, so we're going to use ser, soy. Possession, es el libro de Mrs. Wick. It is Mrs. Wick's book. Remember that we don't have an apostrophe S in Spanish, so we use the word de instead. So technically we're saying it is the book of Mrs. Wick. Okay. We use it for origin or nationality. This is where we've used soy de before. That's where you say your origin, where you're from. De means from. So soy de Wisconsin, I'm from Wisconsin. Or your nationality, that's what you are. Soy mexicano would mean I am Mexican. We use it for your occupation. Mi madre es maestra. My mom is a teacher. We use ser for time and date. Son las cinco. Son is part of that date format that we used, and son comes from ser. Or es lunes. It's Monday. Is, right? It means it is. We use it to identify who or what somebody or something is. So, es un lápiz. It's a pencil. Soy chica. I'm a girl. Have you noticed that there's no word for it in Spanish? So when we say es, it can mean it is. Okay, like es un lápiz, it is a pencil, or es lunes, it is Monday. Finally, we use ser for location of an event. La fiesta es en mi casa. Be really careful with this one because usually location goes with estar. So this is only if we're talking about an event that's happening. Okay, so now I want you to try to use ser. You're going to fill in the blank with the right form. So first think about the people, which conjugation you're going to use. Then I want you to think about which use was being applied. You're going to write both down. So the conjugation, either soy, eres, es, somos, or son, and then the use that we just went over on the last screen. Pause the video while you work. Okay, so let's look at the answers. Ella goes with es. De Chicago. So we look at the word de, Chicago, that's a place. That's telling us where she's from, so her origin. Mis amigos, that's plural, and it's not we, so it has to be they, so son. Inteligentes, intelligent, so that's a characteristic. Yo, soy goes with yo, so yo soy profesor. Profesor is an occupation. Siete de la noche, we use son las with that. That is a time. Bob y yo, blank hombres. Hombres means men. So Bob y yo would be we, because it's someone and I, so somos. We're identifying what we are, so identification. Estos, we can look at that word, we can see that it's plural. So even if I didn't tell you that it means these, we can see that it's plural, and it's not we, so it has to mean they, so son. Estos son mis plumas. We're saying whose they are, so ownership, my pens. El partido, again, even if I didn't tell you that that meant game, you can look at it and see that it is singular. It doesn't say I, it doesn't say you, so it has to be third person, so es. En el gimnasio, that's the location of an event. The game is an event. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing with estar. Again, I want you to write your own example. It can be similar to mine, but let's make it apply to you. We use estar to talk about our feelings or our moods. So for example, estoy feliz, I am happy. We use it to talk about temporary physical conditions. This can apply to people or things. La puerta está abierta, the door is open. That's the condition of the door. So again, notice that está means is. Also es means is. And we also use estar for location. So estoy en la clase de español. The word en is usually going to be a big hint for you in deciding ser or estar because almost all the time it's telling you a location, which is going to go with estar. Unless it's an event. Remember, location of an event goes with ser. Any other kind of location, you're saying where something is, estar. Okay, so now you're going to do the same thing with estar. You're going to first figure out which conjugation to use, and then you're going to say which use is being applied. Pause the video while you work. And here are the answers. Yo goes with estoy. En la escuela. There's our big keyword en, so that's talking about location. Mis amigos. We see that it's plural, so it's third person because it doesn't say yo anywhere. So están enfermos. Sick is a condition, or it could also be a feeling. Tú goes with estás. Contenta is a feeling. La casa, we can see that it is singular, and it is not I, it is not you, so it has to be third person. So está limpia, clean, is a condition. Puerto Vallarta is a place, and it is singular. So está en México. En is a location. Ella y yo, so that's we, somebody and I. Estamos listas, ready. Ready is a condition. So now let's put the two together. How do you decide which one to use? Okay, we're going to use a fill in the blank as an example. So mi amigo blank alto. The first thing we're going to do is what you've been doing all along. Figure out how to conjugate. Mi amigo. We can see that that is third person, and it is singular. It doesn't say I, it doesn't say you, so it has to be third person. There are no S's, so we know it's singular. So that means we're choosing between es or está. Now let's look at the word that's coming after, alto. Alto means tall. Tall is a characteristic. Characteristics go with ser, so we'll choose the conjugation of ser, which was es. Again, if you don't know what the word means, you can still decide if it's singular or plural. If it doesn't say you, it doesn't say I, it can't be first or second person, so it has to be third. All right, here is the final section for you to try. Now you're choosing between ser and estar, and remember to think about the conjugation, and then you're going to say which use is being applied. So pause the video while you work. All right, let's look at number 1. Mis amigos. That's third person and it's plural. So we're choosing between son and están. Then de California. Let's look at the answer or the usage first. This de California tells us that it is origin. So we're going to be using ser. So son. Hoy blank lunes. Lunes is a day of the week. That's date. We use date with ser, so es. El chico blank triste. Triste means sad. Sad is a feeling. Feeling goes with estar. So está. Bob y yo, that's we, right? So first person plural. Blank amables. Amables means nice. Nice is a characteristic, so somos. Las plumas blank en mi escritorio. There's the word en. We're not talking about an event, so it's estar because it's location. So están. And ellos blank mis hermanos. Brothers. We're identifying who they are. So son. All right, and that concludes your notes on ser and estar.